Hey everyone, this is Bill, and welcome back to the Fountain of Truth. Today we're here for part two of the testosterone replacement therapy protocols that I'm going to be starting, or actually, I've already started. I'm about 2 weeks into it. It's just taken me a while to get the time to make a video. And here we go, it's a Friday evening. Everyone's asleep for the most part, so it's a good time. Friday night libations are brought to you by Basil and Hayden's. Basil and Hayden's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I thought I would do a different whiskey maybe once a week, or scotch or whatever, a different liquor. Anyways, I enjoy a lot of bourbons, a lot of different scotches, so anyways, something we'll have fun with. I'm not going to drink that whole thing this week, but it'll be a new one each week. That doesn't mean that the other one is finished. Anyhow, so let's see here. So the test results are in here. All right, so here we have the first page of the report, test results, that is. And I'm just going to read along here with it. Glucose is good. I'm going down a few different items. Creatine level was fine. Sodium's good. Potassium, everything for the most part on this, all through magnesium, everything's right down the middle, which is good, I guess, for now. For those particular tests. The first concern that came up was my TSH, for thyroid. That was a little bit, that was low. It was on the low side of normal. So what my doctor wanted to do is anything that was on the low third of a normal range, we wanted to work on getting me to the upper third of that normal range. So the TSH was low. The T4 and the T3 were good. They were pretty much right down the middle. Anything that was right down the middle of normal, we didn't mess with this time. You can see on there my vitamin B6 was high, but that just could have been from a vitamin or something that I took. Although I was fasting when I took this, but hell, it still could have been from day and a half before, something like that. So all of that is okay. So he's got me on some thyroid supplements anyways, to help increase the TSH levels. The second page, let's see here. All right, so the second page, the zinc level is good. The first thing that jumps out here is iodine. My iodine level was actually below the normal range. So this was one that wasn't just low normal. This was below normal. And it doesn't surprise me, because it's not that I don't like certain types of fish, but I know, I'm sure my iodine intake is not very high. I don't use iodized salt. For whatever reason, I'll use a coarser kosher salt a lot of times when I'm cooking. So I'm on some iodine supplements now as well, to help bring up my iodine levels. So a lot of these things, we're going to test over 3 to 4 weeks. Some of them are going to go 3 to 4 months, and then I'll come back in and have another test. The white and red blood cell counts were good. The next concern here was the B12s. The B12, although it was in the normal range, it was in the low third of the normal. Again, it wasn't necessarily terrible, but he wanted to bring me up into the top third. So I've got a supplement for that as well. The pregnenolone was in the lower third. That was another one. So all this is basically for energy, for the most part. This is try to help me with daily energy, try to help get some better sleep, which hopefully might lead to better energy as well. So we're going to get the pregnenolone up into the upper thirds as well. Selenium here, that's fine. Let's see, go to the next page. So the vitamin D, was low. It was low normal, but it was still definitely in the lower third. So I'm on some vitamin D supplements as well. We're just coming out of the winter here. Who knows? Maybe it's not enough sunlight. I do take a multivitamin just about every day, but for some reason, my uptake of the vitamin D is still low, or I'll just have to check it and see if it has much vitamin D in it. So the saliva tests. The saliva tests were, I guess, rather thorough. I mean, this is the one where I had to do 4 saliva samples throughout the day. The estradiol was good. That's kind of like a precursor to estrogen, and for us guys, we don't want a whole lot of estrogen, so that shows that my estrogen levels are low. That's a good thing. The DHEA and the testosterone levels were low, so that was a little cause for concern, and so I've started on the testosterone cypionate injection protocol. I'm starting out at 200 milligrams per week. I just had my second injection yesterday. Well, maybe I'll get back to that. That was that's not quite as easy as it seems. I'm an engineer. I'm not a nurse, so or a doctor. But anytime someone goes, "Oh, it's really easy," you just that's when I always go, "Okay, this is probably going to fuck me up." But so another thing that I noticed, or that we noticed here, was that my melatonin was low. So I'm taking some melatonin supplement as well. Now, I'll take these supplements, some of them for about a month, and then I'll go back for further testings. I think these saliva ones here, I'll go back for further testing, test my cortisol, and see if there's anything different with that. You can see, I'll show you a picture here of my cortisol levels. When it's supposed to be in the high range, I'm on the very high range of cortisol. So late night, real early morning, my cortisol levels are really high, which they should be higher in the morning. But exactly when they get there could be disrupting my sleep some. And then I dive off pretty fast in the day, just like just about everyone does. But when I dive down, I go to the very bottom of normal, so of the normal levels. So I go from a really high to a really low, and that's what I feel. 3 or 4 o'clock comes around, and that's when energy really starts to crash. Now, mind you, out of all this, my diet's fairly well, or fairly good. I don't, it's not necessarily a whole lot of carbs. What I try to do, and what I've been doing here recently, and I'll get into another video, is for the past month, maybe 2, I've been doing a lot of intermittent fasting just about every day. I'll go anywhere from 16 hours. My normal is 18 hours. And some days, I'll do 21, 24 hours. I've done almost a 2-day fast before as well. So I try to be mindful of when I eat certain carbs or proteins or fats. And when my cortisol levels are high, I try not to eat a whole lot of carbs anymore. So in the mornings, not a whole lot of carbs. In the evenings, more carbs, but it's not like it's an all-carb meal of pasta or anything like that. But so I'll do a couple of months worth of the injections once a week, and then I'll go back for some more testing to see what the levels look like. we'll make adjustments and try to correct things as we see them. Some things may need to, can maybe be removed from the supplement list. So I'm on. I guess I'm on. Technically, he calls it a thyroid protocol. So he's wanting to really treat the thyroid more than just worry about the testosterone levels. So we'll see what all this has done to those levels after a while, and we'll go back and make some adjustments, I'm sure. Now, keep in mind that this is all new to me. I may have said something that maybe is contradictory to something you've read or learned or so feel free to correct me. I'm in no way do I claim to be an expert on this. I'm learning as I go along, and I want to share this with anyone who cares to know more about it, learn more about it, or is thinking about it. So let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much all of the tests. I know one of the things that was a little concerning to me was, I know I don't want to have to take pills for the rest of my life. I mean, one of the reasons why I went to an endocrinologist instead of just my typical primary care physician is, I want to stay away from big pharma medicine. That doesn't mean I want to turn around and just start taking a bunch of supplements from pharmacies, from pharmaceutical companies. So taking all these was a little unnerving at first, but I'm willing to do them on a trial basis to see what it does to my numbers, anyways. And there should be some of these that I can either cut back on because they may be upstream from something else that I'm doing. So the numbers will dictate that. But two, some of these I can increase by either diet or just general patterns. Cutting out blue light. Hours before I sleep or something. Or even throughout the day, just to keep my serotonin levels higher, and then so that'll turn into maybe some higher levels of melatonin, which will help me sleep and rest later on in the evening. But so getting back to the injections, I know everyone's, when I first was researching all this and looking at it and going back to the doctor and everything, all I wanted to do was, I was just thinking, okay, let's get to the injections. Let's get to the testosterone. That's what I need. So, it wasn't quite as easy as it seems, but the injections take a little while to draw up, especially when you're using a very smaller needle. I think I was using a number 25 or something along those lines. And so when I was trying to draw it up, there was, I thought there was such a vacuum in there, and I kept pulling back on it and pulling back, and nothing was coming out, and I was getting a lot of resistance. I would let it go and it would suck back up in there. Well, second time was a lot better. It's a thicker, the cypionate's an oil, so it's very thick, and it's very, it's hard to get through that needle. So you just pull back, and you gotta slowly let it draw up, and just, keep slowly pulling and just hold it there until it draws up. Anyways, I got better at that. I injected into my thighs. That's not too big of a problem. Now, the first time I was probably more worried about just how long it was taking me to draw it up, and just how much I had dulled the needle. And so they had said, hey, draw it up with this needle. Then once it's drawn up, take it off and put on a fresh needle. So it'll be nice and sharp, and it'll puncture you, easier. And it got to the point where I was so fucking frustrated. I didn't care about the needle anymore, and I just punctured, I just injected myself with it anyways. But But it was no big deal. It's not necessarily painful. You know, put it in the right spot. A day or two after, you know, especially if I'm at the gym and I'm setting some weights or something on my legs, yeah, you'll know you had an injection there. But so anyways, hey, this is Bill. This is Fountain of Truth. Thanks for watching. I hope you got what you came for. If not, hopefully we'll get to it. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next time.